Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another edition of Dangle Bet Celly live on our FTN Network YouTube page. Chris Meaney, we got the GOAT back here. Eric Young in the house. EY, what is up? We missed you. You're rocking the sunrise. 9 games on the slate today. Welcome back, dude.
Yeah, for sure. I put it up on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. Lock of the night is Matthew Tkachuk to score a goal. Had to sport this is an actually awesomely sweet jersey. Like it's
Yes.
did it.
Oh,
like
man.
It's so
sick.
It's
Who's on that? Barkov?
so
Sasha?
good.
It's good to see.
It's Tkachuk. Or no, this is Barkov.
Oh.
I have a Tkachuk.
Yeah.
This is Barkov.
Barkov. Nice. Yeah, that jersey's fantastic. Florida's in a really good spot tonight against the San Jose Sharks, who have won a couple games this season, but for the most part, they have been, man.
They're a bad team, and they're not trying to be good. Like, this is exactly what they want.
It doesn't matter. The organization is definitely not trying to be good. The players want to be good, but they just don't have the personnel. I feel awful for when Couture comes back. I'm sure they'll be a little bit more competitive, but they only have like 3 or 4 real NHL players on that squad. They got just a couple of young players, but we'll get into that in a little bit. It is great, like I said, to have you back, man. Everybody's been looking.
I hate not doing the show. It makes me feel gross, and it sucks. It's not for lack of wanting. My life,
of course not.
There's all kinds of cool stuff that I'm going to be sharing here and sharing everywhere eventually, but my life has been insane. In a good way.
We're happy to have you for yes, in a good way. I was going to say that, but let you say that. Well, we're happy to have you back in 9 games here today. Everybody's looking for the 8-leg maniac parlay. You may have to just give 9.
Tonight's the night, guys.
Tonight is the night. A friendly reminder, ftnbets.com/pricing. If you're looking to be part of the FTN family, you can use promo code Meaney, save yourself a little bit of cash. All picks across all sports, including college basketball. Kutry and Mike Randall have been hot fire over like 45 units won in college basketball. The season just tipped off like a week ago. I don't know how they're doing it. But also NFL picks. We're into week 11 of the NFL season. You get projections, Jeff Ratcliffe's projections. And it'll help you from a fantasy football standpoint as well. You can use those projections for player props, for picks. We have the NFL betting model, college basketball. It's all there for you over at ftnbets.com. So if you're looking to be part of that family, you have any questions, reach out at Chris Meaney, at the Eric Young, Mean Streets, ftn@gmail.com. You're hanging out with us here live. Smash that like button, rate, review, subscribe. Do us a solid. Got to show the higher ups that NHL is king. And the NFL will be over before you know it. And we're not betting on the NBA. We're betting on the NHL here today. And for the next couple of months. Also, the FTN Daily family as well. Our guy Lee and Griff, myself, pumping out DFS articles with Prize Picks plays, and they're in the Discord channel to hopefully get you a few extra bucks in your pocket with some NHL DFS lineups. Let's say what up to the crew before we get going. Of course, we're going a little bit later today, 11 Eastern. That's probably where we'll live as long as it works with EY. It works pretty good for me. I know we've been doing some shows at 10 Eastern. We want to try to keep things steady for you guys moving forward. And I think, let's plan for 11 a.m. Eastern on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Troy's been in here since last night talking about his Blue Jackets. What do we got here? Columbus going to lay a beat down on the Penguins tonight. Fantilli's pissed off. And I love the energy. Beware Penguins parlayers. Let's go. Not gonna lie, I do like Pittsburgh tonight, but Columbus always gives them a really good go, and they played the Rangers pretty tight. Troy, somebody asked for your Twitter handle the other day because you said the Rangers were, I forget what you said, they were frauds maybe, and somebody tweeted me and said, where's Troy's Twitter handle? Because the Rangers are not frauds. They ended up coming back in that game and beating the Blue Jackets, I think, but it was a highly entertaining game. We got Islanders ice level seats are plummeting. I'm going to go to so many games to bet on bet shot on goal props against them. Troy loves the Blue Jackets, dislikes the Islanders. We saw the Oilers last night pick up a W. What'd you think? Haven't talked to you I've been chatting, but not on the show. What'd you think of the mess in Edmonton over the first couple weeks? Were you surprised the Woodcroft was fired, and do you agree?
Yeah, at this point where Edmonton lies, I'm not surprised about anything that goes on. Do I think they should have fired Woodcroft? No. I think if you saw the interview with McDavid, like caught him by surprise. He did not look impressed.
No, not at all.
That's the last thing you want. Like, look, I mean, the overriding factor is this: Connor McDavid wants to win hockey games. But I don't think that we can blame Woodcroft. But the reality is this: in today's NHL, with the salary cap and guaranteed contracts and all this other thing, what other move do they have? This goes back to the offseason. We said it. I've been saying it since I'm blue in the face. You go back into the season with Skinner and Campbell as your goaltending tandem. This is on you. This has nothing to do with the coach. This really has nothing to do with the players. Look at the Edmonton Oilers have been bad. They've been giving up, top 5 in high danger chances, I think, in the NHL right now. On paper, this is not a bad team. Like, look at when you have 2 players that are making $10 million, $12 million, it's going to be tough. Right? It's going to be hard. You're not going to have, good players on your third and fourth lines. That's just the reality of it. The reality is, though, is you have 2 of the top 5 players currently playing in the NHL, and you should be in every single game. And they're not. Like, they're just not. They're just not. Strung a couple here. We'll see.
Yeah, McDavid scored last night, and I believe if it was like 5 straight games without a goal, which I think that the broadcast said it was the first time in his career. And he wasn't even really picking up any assists either. I thought that they've been playing pretty good hockey. They're not on this slate tonight, but they won last night. They had a brutal first couple of periods last night, but they had a good third. All the metrics were in terms of like eliminating chances and generating chances, shot attempts and scoring chances and high danger chances. Like they were just checking every single box, but they had the 31st save percentage of 5-5. Only Calgary was worse. And then on the flip side, they had the 3rd lowest 5-5 shooting percentage. So that's like both sides of it. You're not scoring, you're not keeping the puck out of the net. I don't think that
hard to win hockey games when those 2 things are true.
I can't imagine the goaltending really turning around all that much, although Skinner had a nice night yesterday, but the goals will come around. But yeah, I thought the firing should have happened, but after hearing McDavid, it's just like, whoa, like he wasn't addressed about this. You'd think that they would, maybe. I know it's not always something that happens, but you think he's the face of the franchise. Just maybe they would have a conversation with him. And he seemed pretty upset about it. Nonetheless, they picked up a win. They have to rattle off a ton of wins here over the next little bit. They have to play well above 500 hockey because they've dug themselves a pretty big hole. And I would imagine if they miss the playoffs, like Holland is next, right? Because the bottom 6 has got some big time issues. But we'll move on from that one. We wanted Adam Szymanski's in the house. We're going to get going here now, guys, and I got a couple picks and goal scorers for you. Jazz is in the house as well. Vancouver 3.5 against the Islanders Wednesday night. And we know that Hammerhead Unions is in the house. And his new squad, he said he traded in the Kraken for the Vancouver Canucks, and he's got to be feeling pretty good about that move because Vancouver is cooking on offense all over the place. Troy loves your jersey. It is hot fire. Perk is in the house. Emmerich, sup, guys? Welcome back. EY. Enjoy life. Welcome back. Jersey rocks. 8 lag. Diehard MMA podcast in the house. Let's go. Seth. Morning, fellas. Can the Sharks possibly screw us over again tonight? They did screw us over last week, but the process remains the same. We won a lot of those units back with the Ducks on Sunday night with the puck line and in 60 being plus money, and Mason McTavish will give some love to it. 2 units on him for a point. As well as the shot. So I would agree with this. McDavid still clearly hurt. I saw the game against the Sharks where he went back to the bench a couple times, and he's like, you could see that he was in pain after a few shifts. Books are terrified as he goes nuclear, considering he's still a favorite for the Hart and he shouldn't be. Yeah, and he was the first time ever I saw last night, not ever in a long time, he was minus 125 for 2 points. It had been a minute since we've seen something like that. And of course, he had the 2-point night, and Draisaitl had the 4. So the big boys showed up last night. What's your opinion about the Pens? Lost the last 4. The last 4 is decent, at least. We'll get into the Pens when we get going with the Pens. But let's start where you want to start. Your favorite game on the night. Where do you want to go?
Favorite game on the night? Oh, geez, man. I'm curious, real curious what goes on with Pittsburgh and Columbus. Troy's going to, will like this.
All right, let's start there.
I think Columbus wins here tonight. I really like the way they've been playing. The coach, benching Johnny Gaudreau, holding him accountable. Look, man, like we're going to pay you all this money. I mean, you got to show up. And I don't. Can you remember a time when we saw this benching of players this often at this point of the season?
No, not like big superstars.
It's happening all over the place, right? It's happening all over the place. And what else can these coaches do, right? Like they can't dock their pay, they can't fine them. The only thing you can do is take away ice time. And as a superstar player, a player that is obviously an insane competitor, why he plays in the NHL, and a guy that wants to, accumulate points and be an important player in Johnny Gaudreau, we got to have some real effort here. And I think it's a good move by the coach, and I think Columbus wins this game. I mean, the truth is Pittsburgh is not Edmonton Oilers level disaster, but like this is an old hockey team, and your big move in the off season was getting Erik Karlsson, who's also a very old player. Like I get he had this unbelievable season last year, but I think for me that's an anomaly. Like he's playing on a San Jose Sharks team that was not very good. And two, like, I mean, players his age and with his style of skating and stuff, they don't have their best seasons statistically as they get older. So I think it's an outlier. I think, this is the Erik Karlsson that we're going to see for the rest of this season. And the Pittsburgh Penguins are in trouble. I think Dubas is playing this well. Like he went out and tried to add, he said, as long as I got Crosby and Malkin, we're going for it. And that's what he should be doing. But the reality is this is an old team. It might be, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's the oldest team in the NHL overall.
Yeah, definitely. Even a lot of the players that they brought in are a lot older, right? Like Lars Mellers. Yeah. You and Troy are drinking something special with Columbus right now. I see a Blue Jackets team that's lost 5 straight games. They've allowed a league high 70 shot attempts at 5-5 per 60. And I see the Penguins won 4 straight. I think this game will be tight for sure. Columbus does play them pretty good at home. I have seen their game improve over the last couple. But I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. I'm going to take them in 60, plus 100. I think they win in 60. I like Crosby for an assist at plus 100 as well. I did a Crosby and Gensel same game parlay to pick up a point at Bet365. It's a little juiced at minus 130. That may be gone because now I'm seeing Gensel at plus 185 for a 2-point night. I kind of dig it. Ricard Raquel. Is he going to score a goal at any point? Do you have him? I would assume you don't have him on.
I do not have him to score tonight.
But when is he going to find the back of the net?
He's a good player. It makes no sense, right? Like,
yeah, it's only a matter of time, right?
Yeah, I'm not betting on it to happen tonight. Like, for me, I got Gensel and Malkin. Malkin is in the last game we just saw him play in. Like, he's angry, Malkin, and when he gets like this, he's, arguably the best player in the NHL.
I forget who it was. Troy Terry punched him in the face the other night, and he snapped.
He lost it, and then he has that crazy power play goal. Like, when he's motivated and when he's mad, it's like the Super Mario with a star. That's the anger star. Malkin eats the anger star, and then he just starts playing like this crazy Russian robot, and just no one can stop him. He can't play like that. You can't live like that all the time. It's just reality. But when he gets like this, he's dangerous. I think he scores tonight. Columbus side, I got Laine, who's I've really liked in the last couple games, and Marashenko, who's really come on as well.
Ever since he was what
Columbus plays Pittsburgh well, and I think the wheels and the youth, it's going to wear Pittsburgh out. And I think that Columbus, it is a gut feeling. It has nothing to do with Troy's blind faith in this team.
I know. I'm just teasing.
But it's just how I feel.
I dig it. There certainly has to be an opportunity here for some Pittsburgh players to get some shots. Just the fact that the Blue Jackets have allowed so much, like 70 shot attempts, is right there with the Sharks at 5-5 per 60 allowed, and the Blackhawks are right there as well. And overall, they're inside the top 5 in shots allowed. But a lot of guys are just at 3.5. So I'll just go to Gensel, I think. But man, Raquel's odds to score are not even I mean, plus 250 at FanDuel is all right, but this is a guy that can score 25, and he should. I would expect him to even flirt with this number, despite the fact we're over a month into the season, week 6, and he doesn't have a goal yet. But my goodness, is he trying? 6 shots, 4, and then 3 in his last 2 games. Whew. It's a long shot, but at some point he's going to break out and score a couple goals. For sure. But anyways, I'll go Crosby assist plus 100, Pittsburgh in 60 plus 100, and a little stab at Gensel at plus 185. If there is one guy, it's that top line has just been shooting so much, and Crosby and Gensel and Brian Rush. Like one game they had 25 shot attempts between them. I think that was a game against the Ducks. Yeah, so they've rattled off 4 straight, and they've only allowed 5 goals over that span, and they have scored 20. I know when you play the Sharks, everyone piles the stats. It's like your beer league hockey game against the worst squad in your league. You just pile up the stats, I guess, because they put up a 10 spot against San Jose there. Okay, where do you want to go next? Oh, wait. Yes, I wanted to say this. EY, we can't say anything negative about Carlson after Adam gave us the tip of the 27-1 Norris winner there. There is a fantasy hockey question. You guys are just hot fire with the picks. I love it. I can't keep up. I'll try. If you guys have any questions, we will address them throughout or towards the end of the show. I'll say this quickly. Mateo just joined the show here. Welcome in. And I did have Josh Norris in the consideration for a drop. I really like Josh Norris. I would be patient if I could, but if you want to live in the moment, we have a free article on Sunday, every Sunday at ftnfantasy.com, diving into everything for the week. Like 4 game streams. There's 11 teams playing 2 games. There's 1 team in the Rangers playing 1. There's just a couple playing 4. Attack the schedule. But Josh Norris only has 2 games this week. And if you're looking ahead, he only plays once next week. So that's 3 games in the next 14 days for Josh Norris. I would just, I would move on and pick up some streamers. Check out the article, ftnfantasy.com. We'll have a rankings update as well. Means Columbus has been leading in 8 of their last 10 games. They just have to fix the game management. Don't be shocked when they upset today. Yeah, I know they've been in games, Troy, but I just don't like their game, man. I just don't like their 5-5 play, and I just don't think that they have great goaltending. So I've been picking on them. I'm just going to continue, but I wouldn't be shocked. It's the NHL. Things happen.
Yep,
what would shock me is the San Jose Sharks winning a hockey game like 7-1. Let's go there. Let's go to San Jose. Let's just get that game out of the way. Our guy Fox made this board. He's a big Sharks guy. He's like, it's tough, man. It's tough. San Jose at home here, plus 215. What do we have live odds over at FTN Betstock? Plus 240 now. This line has moved, obviously. Minus 265 for the Florida Panthers. I just keep riding it, guys. I know we're not breaking any news, but this is what I'm going to do basically all year long. We'll have some other plays, but this is where I start. And you know what? It is paying the bills. And why not keep this up at the moment? This is a bad hockey team in San Jose. It is still the NHL. They'll win games here and there, but they will definitely give up shot attempts. So last night we drank a little bit of the juice for them to win in 60 at minus 150 and put in on the puck line at plus 105 for them to win by 2 tonight. They're now currently the best odds I'm seeing is minus 110 over at Unibet and Bet Rivers for them to win by 2. There's a lot here that I like in this game. Our free bet of the day is Matthew Tkachuk over 1.5 points at plus 170. Tkachuk, he's got 15 points in 14 games. He checks in riding a 6-game point streak. He's got at least 2 points in back-to-back games. This is what I'm talking about with the Sharks. A league high 38 shots allowed at 5-5 per 60. They rank 3rd in shot attempts allowed, 4th in scoring chances allowed, 3rd in high danger chances given up. According to Natural Stat Trick, they have a league worst 4.68 goals allowed at 5-5 per 60. Think about that for a second. They're allowing nearly 5 goals a game at 5-5 per hour. Plus, they're among the leaders in penalties taken. And on the flip side, the Panthers, we just know how good they are at 5-5. They are 5th in shot attempts, 7th in shots, 7th in scoring chances, and high danger chances. They should flirt with 35 shots at least, maybe 50, 60 attempts. Sounds like maybe Brendan Montour could return tonight as well. He's been practicing in full with the squad.
Think about how good Florida's been, and they don't have Ekblad or Montour.
I mean, and they've had Bennett for like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. Cool. So I have a lot here. Florida Florida to win on the puck line. I got Tkachuk for 2 points. I also like Matthew Tkachuk minus 125 for an assist. There's juice on Verhaeghe for a point at minus 150, but I think he scores tonight. He's starting to feel it again. It was no puck luck for him at the start of the season. He's starting to score some goals tonight. Also like him for 4 shots at plus 130. I think Barkov for an assist at minus 120 is good odds. Rodriguez and Point are both minus 125 for a point tonight. And Reinhart is minus 130 for 3 shots. So I know that is a lot. I got the free article at ftnbets.com breaking it down, my favorite plays, and I have a couple fun same game parlays in there as well. One's 50-1, one's just the shots, one's everybody to pick up a point. So I think at least, Eric, we will see some shot attempts. I know you got some goal scorers out there, but sounds like what I like, one of my favorite lines last year was Bennett, Verhaeghe, and Tkachuk, and they're back together again. And I think we've only seen that trio maybe once or twice this season, and Rodriguez is playing great with Reinhart playing awesome with Barkov too. So the shot attempts should be there. You got a couple goal scorers, I'm sure.
Yeah, like I said, Matthew Tkachuk, I'm going for him, and Reinhart has been maybe their best player this year.
Yeah, for sure.
Florida looks unbelievable. San Jose, I mean, we don't have to beat the dead horse. They're a rotten team. They're not trying to win hockey games. The players are, the coaches are, but no one else is interested in winning games. They're not going to. I don't know if they even win 25 games this year.
No, I don't. I would take the under.
I would take the under as well. But on them, I mean, Hurdle at 195 and Granlund.
Granlund's been good. Granlund's been good.
Man.
I've watched just about every Sharks game, honestly, because I've just have so much riding on these other props against them. But Granlund seems like it's actually the hardest I think I've ever seen him play. You could tell that this isn't fun for some of these players, especially the veterans that are on the squad. Like, they're just getting their butts whooped every single night, and the puck is just lived in their zone. I like this too, Evan. I just be cautious with it because I agree it's cashing more times than not. I'll say this: Blackwood for sure. Anybody else that San Jose rolls out there's that risk that he just gets yanked early, right? It could be a 4-0. We've seen 4-0, 5-0 early in games, and the Sharks goalie getting pulled. But I do like the 27.5. It's at a decent price, and you're right, Evan's correct here. The Blackwood save prop all season has been pretty good. You can go over at prizepicks.com, you go over underdogfantasy.com, and you can do for those that don't have Bet365, you can do that there. You can do a same game parlay. Forget the game. Maybe San Jose wins the game. Sure. I see Hammerhead, jump on the Sharks. It's the NHL after all. You want to take a dog, you want to take a reverse puck line. I'm all about it. For me, I'm going the other way, but the shot should happen tonight. So if you wanted to do a ticket with Blackwood saves, maybe I would go Reinhart, Verhaeghe, maybe Tkachuk, and then Barkov, and then you put those guys in. You put 4 or 5 shooters in with the saves. It all correlates. And if Blackwood saves, if he has 35 saves, most likely going to get a couple of those. The players that I noticed that haven't been shooting as much lately is Rodriguez, and Tkachuk is hit or miss. He could just pass the puck all night. But if they get a couple power plays, he could rack up 4 or 5 shots pretty easy there. It's crazy, right? He has been making 40 plus saves a night. I think that the Sharks get dummy tonight. They give up like 50 shots. Where do you want to go? You're up now. Next game on their list.
How about Anaheim and Nashville?
Quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth. Really love this game. The total's at 6. I like the over. The Ducks, man, they're impressive at the moment. I just want to start with them and let you talk about Nashville. But we got Mason McTavish on the board here and your boy Philip Forsberg. I love both of these shot props. It's a 2-unit play for me. Actually, Philip Forsberg to have 4 shots tonight. He had 7 in the last game. He's among the leaders in shot attempts this season at 5 and 5 per 60. The Ducks lead the NHL in penalties taken. So we should see a couple power plays here for the Preds tonight. We know that Forsberg is the shooter on that power play. So overall, just looking at some of these teams 5 and 5 numbers this morning, because I have Mason McTavish in the article as well. We got the Ducks top 5 in shots at even strength, and as I mentioned, tied for first in power plays. And on the other side, I don't know what's going on with UC Soros and your Preds at the moment, just keeping the puck out of their net, but uncharacteristic numbers for him: 3.24 goals against average and 894 save percentage. He's definitely struggling at the moment. 18 goals allowed in his last 4 games, but the Preds are inside the top 10 in shot attempts allowed EY, they've given up the third most shots. They're top 10 in high danger chances allowed. They rank 6th in expected goals and 4th in goals allowed at 5.5 per 60. It's not as bad as San Jose, but man, they're allowing some goals. That's why I think we'll see some offense. It's not, Mason McTavish is playing well. Vetrano's playing well. Leo Carlson's playing really well. When he plays, I think he's got a couple points. Kaloran is back and, playing with them. So I think we could see like a fun game tonight from a fantasy standpoint. What do you think about the over 6? Or do you think Saros turns the clock back a bit?
Yeah, well, I mean, look at it. I mean, this is
I don't think it's all on
your
him.
Grandmother's Nashville Predators, right? They do not play stingy hockey. Burnett wants to play with the pedal down, and you're seeing that. I have Nashville to win. I know that's a gut thing, and of course I've got Nashville to win, but I think they're a better team. I think Saros will get right. I've got him in a ton of my fantasy leagues, which is why in fantasy hockey I'm not doing very well, but I'm not dropping him. I mean, he's been one of the best goalies for the last 4 or 5 years, and I think he finds his form. Anaheim side, I'm going Troy Terry, who's been very, very good, and Vetrano. Vetrano was tied for most goals in the NHL, and this is last week.
He just shoots like a psycho too. I love it.
Just like we saw, just like everyone projected that Frank Vetrano would be leading the NHL in scoring. But he does shoot. He's always shot like a psycho, and he's a guy that we've always liked. Still touches a bunch of categories, but mostly just rips the puck. And that's where he's set up on the Anaheim power play. They want the puck coming off of his stick because he's the shooter on the power play and all for that team. Nashville side, I'm going Forsberg, of course, and I'm going back to Evangelista. He's a plus 280. He's playing important minutes for them. And mostly he's playing the right wing on that top power play. So
I dig it. I touched on McTavish, but he's in the article. We had 2 units on him to pick up a point on Sunday against Anaheim, and we had against San Jose. We had a unit on the assist, and we had the shots as well. So we got 2 of the 3, but the 2 units was really nice. I just have it as a unit play here today, but Mason McTavish, he's over a point per game. And books have just been snoozing on him, and he's been part of one of the better lines in hockey, man, with Vetrano and Ryan Strome. Like, these guys are playing pretty good. I know that, like, when Zegras is playing, all the attention's on Zegras and Troy Terry. And, again, Leo Carlson with Terry and Kaloran, that's been a pretty decent unit as well over the past couple of games. But this Vetrano line has been unbelievable. Did I just close? What did I close my... Oh, no, I got it here. Here's some notes. I got him for Vetrano. We'll move on from this game. Or on McTavish rather. So minus 110 at BetMGM. This is the first time I've seen all year, not plus money, but he's got the 7 goals and 15 points in 14 games, logging a lot of ice time over the past couple, playing in a lot of different situations in the bumper on the power play. He's got points in 9 of his last 11 games, 12 total over that span. He's also racked up at least 3 shots on goal in 7 of his past 8, which includes 17 in his last 4. So he is just getting a ton of ice time. So going back to McTavish again tonight for the point. I mean, I don't mind the sprinkle on the assist just because Vetrano's such a shooter and he may score tonight. But I also like the shots for McTavish. And I don't think that we should go away from Vetrano's shots just because Mason's shooting too. Minus 125 for Vetrano shots. That's also a really good price. So Mason, McTavish, Vetrano, and Philip Forsberg, like those are the shooters for me in this game. And I actually am on the Ducks. I don't know. I was looking for an upset UI. Just trying to. It was either Arizona or Anaheim, and I went with Anaheim plus 155. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Should be a really good game. I think it's it's going to be a good fantasy game too from a DFS standpoint. Ducks are sneaky good offensively. Yep. Carlson on the Cam Fowler on the blue line. Minty is a nice young, college defenseman who's, not a lot of people have seen play this year, but he's fun to watch as well. Let's go to Arizona in Dallas. We got 29-minute mark. I'll let you kick it off. What you like here? Man, your boy Matt Duchene. Talk him up. He's playing good hockey right now.
He's a good player. He's been a good player for a long time. He's literally, I don't think he gets the respect. He's a magician with the puck when he has it. He does things that, don't make a ton of sense. He's a very, very good player. What a great landing spot for him. Love the Dallas Stars. I'm not supposed to because I'm a Predators fan. They play in the same division, but I've always been a Stars fan. I also like this Arizona team. Like I look at, sorry, Clint. I know you guys won the other night, and we were in a vicious blood feud, me and Clint, and Arizona came out on top the other night. I do like this team, though. I like a ton of their young players. Unfortunately, they play in a high school gymnasium, but hopefully that can get rectified. And the team in Arizona, and the team stays in Arizona. I don't want it to move, but the reality is it's an abomination to be playing pro-level NHL games in a high school gymnasium. It's nonsense, and it sucks, and it's embarrassing for the league and embarrassing for a person who supports the league, such as myself. But I digress. So Arizona, Dallas, Arizona side, of course, I'm going Clayton Keller. If this guy played on literally any other team, the entire world would be talking about him. He's so good with the puck. Such a good player, has been a good player for 5 or 6 years. And he's at plus 210 on FanDuel. I don't man, if someone's going to score, it's going to be him, right? He's a superstar. And I get that he plays in Arizona, but they've been pretty competitive this year. They're fairly competitive at the end of last year. So I love Keller there. And I'm going back to my guy, Lawson Krause at plus 380, has been playing really good hockey the last couple weeks, shooting the puck, big body, playing on that second power play. I really like Lawson Krause. Almost wore my Lawson Krause jersey, but I do believe that Dallas wins this game. I'm going Robertson at plus 150, and Wyatt Johnson has been really, really good for the last 2 weeks. He's at plus 220. They haven't caught up to him, playing really well. And you could sprinkle in Duchesne in there as well, but I'm going Wyatt Johnson and Robertson tonight.
Stars are a wagon. We love them. We love them on the show. We've loved them for years, man. Hintz and Pavelski and Robertson have just been so good to us. From a betting standpoint, a fantasy hockey standpoint, DFS over the last 3 years since these guys were placed together, really since Pavelski went there. And we've seen the breakout from Hintz, and Robertson's just been good from day one. I like Robertson to score as well. He's starting to score again. He was a buy low candidate for me in the first 5 fantasy hockey articles because he was the only player that went in the first couple of rounds. Like him and Tage Thompson were off to slow starts out of all the top, I'd say 12 to 15 players in fantasy drafts. But all of a sudden now, I mean, the points are there. He's got 13 to 14 games, but you go back all the way to October 19th. He's got a point in 3, 6, 9 of his last 12 games, and he's got 3 goals over his last 3 too. You can only keep this guy off the score sheet for so long. He's a 40-goal scorer. So once he gets going, that's it. I put Robertson, Hintz, and Pavelski in the bet tracker. All 3 of those guys to pick up a point at Bet365 at plus 180. I do like Robertson to score, but I wanted to give some love to Duchesne because we've been putting him in the tracker as well. He's been plus money consistently for points here. Been very, very sneaky good. This third line for Dallas with Marchman and Tyler Seguin. Duchesne, through his first 13 games with Dallas, he's got he's a point per game guy. 5-game point streak. He had a 5-game point streak going EY, and he left with an injury. He missed 1 game, came back and scored a goal and had 3 points immediately. Picked up a new point streak here, so he enters tonight on a 3-game point streak. But overall, I mean, in games where he's finished is 8 in a row that he has picked up a point. So he may not get one tonight, but just keep an eye on him. He should be rostered in fantasy hockey leagues. Mateo, if you're still hanging out with us, that's a swap that I would make. Just kind of live in the moment. You can do Norris for Duchesne, get yourself a 4-game streamer or something like that. But Duchesne should be rostered, and Arizona is, among the leaders in scoring chances and high danger chances allowed. They're top 5 in both of those categories. So really like what's going on here with Matt Duchesne, and we'll see if he can 6 points over this current 3-game point streak for him. And I like Hintz for shots. I always like Hintz. I like Hintz maybe a little bit more at home. He's been missing on the road, but he hits more times than not anyway. So Robertson goal, Duchesne point. I mean, Seguin probably gets in on the fun too. Hintz over 2.5 shots. I like the Clayton Keller call, and Lawson Krause too. He's a guy that in bangers league should be rostered everywhere. He just does a lot of different things when he's not scoring, which certainly like. Let's head to Montreal. 34-minute mark. Calgary and the Bleu Blanc Rouge We got Sean Monahan. Holy crap. Sean Monahan is like a point per game player this year. What the heck is going on? He's
of course
playing against his former squad here today. He's got 6 goals and 13 points in his last 15 games. Sean Monahan has a point in at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of his last 9 games, 10 of his last 12 games. He is contributing on the power play. That is the old Matthew Tkachuk there. He's contributing on the power play. I say the old, but the old in Calgary unis. And he's playing shorthanded. He's playing heavy minutes, man. He's playing pretty good. He's playing pretty good hockey. And the Habs are actually playing pretty good hockey too. Like they beat the Bruins, and I thought they took it to them in the later part of that game, the second half. Then the Canucks took it to them. But I thought they still played pretty good against Vancouver. This is still a team that lives in the penalty box. I'll let you take it away. I think there's a possibility of an upset because it's the Flames.
Right. I got Montreal winning this game.
There you go.
Calgary is, man, they've been bad.
Just mediocre.
They're just, I mean, just. I don't know who will play in that. I mean, if it's Dustin Wolf, I mean, maybe I changed my mind, but I think I'm still going to go Montreal.
But it won't be Allen. Yeah, so it'll just be a wash probably.
Yep. Calgary side, Lindholm plus 220 and Mangiapane at plus 220. Like those two players. Mangiapane has had a pretty decent start to the season. Like not insane, but nobody in Calgary has because they've just been a bad team. Watching Mangiapane play, you just want him to be released, right? Like, I mean, this is a very good offensive player, and you just want him to play how you know he can play by watching him. So hopefully they get that going. Montreal side, I'm going Cole Caulfield at 135, and Alex Newhook is playing on the left side on that top line with Josh Anderson and Nick Suzuki. So that's pretty interesting. And he's playing centering the second power play. So, and Newhook is plus 410 to score. That's part of the reason of me putting him in, but just playing important minutes for Montreal right now. A player that they want to get going, right? Like they went after him, they signed him. You know, a lot of people, me included, were excited of what Alex Newhook could become in Montreal, playing important minutes. Was kind of buried in Colorado. So hopefully this is the start of something good. And Newhook playing important minutes for Montreal, and I think he could score tonight.
Yeah, I like it. And you know, St. Louis, this is the first time you split up those two, right? Suzuki and Caulfield, and it's kind of gotten them going just a little bit. You got to have some balance up and down your lineup. They're so thin really up front. It's easy for defensemen, the top pair, just to go against Caulfield and Suzuki. Kadri's been pretty good, I guess, for the Flames. If I was to pick a goal scorer for Calgary, it would be him at plus 210, also minus 140 for a point. I should have Connor Zary. He's been on that second line. He picked up points in his first 4 games, and then
wheels.
Pick up one against the Sens. He's got some wheels. He's got 2 goals. He's been sneaky in DFS. Is just like maybe a one-off. I know FanDuel didn't have him on their slate for the first couple of weeks, but he's been on DraftKings. He's been pretty cheap. We've been talking about him and Kadri. And the same, I guess, would apply for Newhook. I usually go Caulfield or Matheson shots, but the Flames are still pretty, like, they're still okay at 5-5. They just don't really get the goaltending, and they don't score a ton of goals. So I'll probably stay away from this game altogether. I do want to give a little bit of love to Caden Gooley in deeper fantasy hockey leagues, like Bangers leagues, especially. Because, man, he's a really good player. And the blocks, especially, he's not afraid to put his body in front of the blocks. If you look at the last few games, 3-3, 5-6, 2-0, 4-4. He scored an overtime goal against the Bruins the other night. I think it's only a matter of time before he gets on that second power play. Like Arbor Xhekaj gets time on that second unit. I think Caden Gooley will eventually. But if you guys want to ride this thing out with, Gallagher's been shooting too quite a bit. If you guys want to ride this thing out with Monahan, he's minus 115 for a point, and he's basically getting one. And forget the revenge narrative. He's basically getting a point per game. When they get on the power play, he touches the puck, and he's quick with the deflections and the rebounds in there as well. And he's always looking cross. The Habs do this thing where they go down low. They basically do the same thing on the power play. They got Caulfield on one side, Suzuki on one side. Suzuki does this whole. Suzuki basically he goes out of the pitcher at center ice. I'm like, what is he doing to come in at the same pace to either get the shot in motion from Monahan, pass it cross ice to Caulfield, or it's down low to Monahan and cross ice. So Monahan touches the puck quite a bit on that power play. And I think that's why he's racking up quite a few points here. There's a ton of comments in this game. We got Lindholm goals. We got Rasmus Anderson over 2.5 shots. Have stake penalties. Absolutely. Yeah. They live in the box. So it's not a bad idea to target some shooters there. Mason Michelli over, point for plus 100, 0.9 of the last 10 home games. Really it's a good call too. And he's been great with Logan Lawson Krause, right? That's a duo that I just really see the chemistry between those two guys. Love the call there. Okay. We did have a board for Pittsburgh and Columbus. This one was for you, Troy. We had Johnny Hockey in the dark there on the bench. We had Sid the Kid, taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight. Okay, we just have a couple more. What's next for us? You want to go to Buffalo, Boston and Buffalo here? There was a question about Alex Tuch. I'm not sure the extent of Alex Tuch's injury. I know he's not going to suit up tonight. I would hold him if you can. He has certainly top 15, top 20 upside at the position, so hold him. There's a lot of guys, Mateo, that you mentioned. Lindholm, maybe you wait out to tonight, see him play this evening, get the game in tonight. Killorn is not going to be consistently good for you. He wasn't in Tampa surrounded by good players. I think it's just, you can ride the hot hand, but I honestly think that he was overdrafted and overpaid. He is linked to good players, but I think that you'll want to drop him at some point. And then this one here, I would just try to hold Alex Tuch. I'm not sure the extent, but if you have IR plus, hold on to him if you can. But I highly recommend checking out the article for some other pickups there as well. Okay, so Buffalo at home, plus 130. The Bruins at minus 145. What do you got?
Boston wins this tonight. I want Buffalo to be better. I don't know. I just don't think they're there yet. We haven't seen Tage Thompson really play like he was on a superstar level last season. He's been not invisible, but just not the same player, it seems like. I'm going Pasta. I know he's negative 115, but if they're going to score, it's going to be him. He's just been an animal. And I'm going Brad Marchand at plus 200. Buffalo side, I'm going Tage at 145. And Peterka at plus 370. Peterka has been really good playing in the second line, playing power play time. A very little known player for Buffalo, but has been very good for them all year. So
I don't got much in this game. I don't think we'll see a lot. The two guys are Marchand and Pasta. We had a same game parlay the other night with Marchand, Charlie McAvoy, and Pavel Zacha. I was just thinking power play. Got so lucky. It never works out where you get it like the first shift of the game, and all three of those guys picked up a point. So it was real. Maybe consider that again. Like it correlates well in the power play. McAvoy back the other night against the Habs after the suspension, but it would just be Pasta shots and Marchand shots, and not breaking any news here. But JVR, maybe a shout out to him for an assist or a point. He's been hitting the score sheet, playing on that power play here and there on that first unit. And maybe Zacha picks up an assist. But yeah, man, the Sabres can't keep the puck out of the net. They're not scoring. Tage Thompson, you're right. There's been regression in his game, which stings for me because I have him. But he's a keeper. We had him all over the place last year. So it's a good value for him. But I like to see him get going. I'd say Marchand and Pasta are the ones for me. Let's go to Washington. The Capitals at plus 135. And we have Vegas here at minus 150. First time I've seen Jonathan Marchessault's shot prop at 2.5 over at Underdog and Prize Picks. I'd lean to that one. We got Marchessault and Eichel for a point at plus 115. I think in the bet tracker that again is from Bet365 plus 110 for those two guys. Eichel's been shooting, man. He's so good. He's just playing with such the confidence level for Jack Eichel is through the roof.
This is the player that everyone thought he was going to be, right? Like,
man.
The player he is right now is what Buffalo thought they were going to get. Then the injuries and playing on a bad team. But, man, unlocking him, playing on a great team, very well coached, great structure, surrounded by good players at every level. Jack Eichel is the man.
I know that it was just San Jose the other night, but, man, he was just feeling it. He was doing behind the back things, backhand sauce. He's killing penalties too, which is great to see. Like he is He's getting
Makes
all
sense.
the icing that he can handle. Yeah, it does. Have your best player out there. He's smart. He's got a good stick. And
Great skater.
He fed Carlson the other night on a 2-on-1. I think it was a shorty, and it was just a beautiful sauce. Like, it was 3 or 4 feet in the air, man, and it just landed at right perfectly, and Carlson just put it top corner, and it was just really nice to see. Anyways, I think that line, it gets a goal tonight. Like, it's either Eichel or Marchessault. I'll lean Marchessault, and Eichel probably gets the assist. One thing I was going to jump in, and Szymanski said it too, is we've been doing this a couple times as well. This one worked out for us. We also cash in big time on Vegas against San Jose. It's the plus money shot prop here for Alex Pietrangelo, 2.5. He's still on that second unit with Shea Theodore on that first, but he's shooting. It's a good pair. It's like a sneaky good offensive pair, but we know how Pietrangelo and Alec Martinez, like, these guys block everything. They're strong in their own end. They can move the puck. They can skate up, and they both have like some offensive ability to them. Martinez is actually sneaky good offensively. He scored twice the other night, but he can score. He can shoot, and he pinches in. So I like the call there, and I'm in on that one too. Because all the other shot props are a little juice. Kuznetsov's been shooting a little bit lately. This is a rematch of Stanley Cup final a couple years ago, but some different faces, I suppose, on this team. What do you got over there? You got Ovechkin to score a goal?
I do. But
Marchessault?
Washington's rotten.
Washington's awful. Brutal.
I got Ovi and Strome because you're not going to make me pick anybody else. And on the Vegas side, I think Vegas wins this. I got Eichel and I got Mark Stone.
I like Vegas too. They're missing some dudes, right? Well, I guess Chandler Stevenson, but they'll be fine. Yeah, their 5-5 plays too good. The goaltending is phenomenal too.
Yeah.
Really like the duo I have in the Dangle Bet Celly League, Aiden Hill and Logan Thompson. Whoever plays, man,
guaranteed win almost every
pretty
time.
much at this point. Yeah, nothing to say. Feel bad for Nicholas Backstrom. We may not see him again in the NHL. Unfortunately, had a great career, but the hips are bothering him. Okay, so yeah, we'll move on. I don't think I have too much more to add on that one. This one should be fun. I like the over in the Blues and the Tampa Bay game. 6.5 is the total here. I'm not sure about Kucherov. I know I didn't see him this morning on some props, and I think he missed the last game due to an illness. But I was looking into these teams' numbers, and they're both like allowing a lot, and Tampa Bay surprisingly too. And I know there's been a lot of talk on this show about the Bolts and make the playoffs. Are hovering around 500. They're doing what they can without their MVP. I guess their MVP right now is Kucherov for sure. You can make a case for him all year, but Vasilevsky. But overall, when I look at just shot attempts allowed, I see the Blues. See the Blues here, the 5th most shot attempts allowed. I see shots allowed. St. Louis number 3, Tampa number 6. This is 5-5 per 60. I see goals allowed. Tampa Bay number 2. Just behind San Jose in goals allowed at 5-5 per 60. The expected goals against St. Louis is 5 and Tampa's 6. So St. Louis actually getting the goaltending. Binnington's been pretty good.
Yeah, he has been.
The scoring chances, St. Louis inside the top 10.
Hofer's been good too.
Hofer's good too. I watched him live in, I think it was his first game, and I remember the Capitals fans like, who the heck is Hall of Famer? They were calling him Hofer. Who the hell is this Hall of Famer? And let's just put him into the Hall now. He was standing on his head, and he went on a little bit of a run. But yeah, he has been good. But the Blues are still there and allowing all these quality chances. Scoring chances allowed. St. Louis inside the top 6. And then high danger chances allowed. St. Louis number 3 and Tampa kind of in the top half there. So I just think we may see some offense. Robert Thomas has been really good lately with Pavel Buchnevich. Like those two, I can already tell you have one of them on your sheet. Braden Shen has been great from a bangers league. He touches a lot of different categories for you. He's been shooting. I think he had 7 pucks on net the other night, winning faceoffs. Him and Cairo. And then, of course, we know about Kucherov and what he's been doing. Nick Paul's been great. I think Hagel's in play for a point. I think this game will be fine. I like the over 6.5. I don't know what side of it.
Yeah, I do too.
I like the over.
Yeah, and I don't know if Kucherov plays. I got him to score. I mean, I think it was an illness, so I think there's a pretty good chance he plays tonight. He's at plus 140. He's been an absolute animal all year. And Paul, you just mentioned it. Like, he may be the most consistent player for the Tampa Bay Lightning right now. Offensively, there's no doubt. I mean, just big body dude, can skate, has never been like a goal scorer or a guy that drives play, but he's been doing that this year, and it's really cool to see. Really good player. I loved him when he played in Ottawa, and I thought he was a great signing for Tampa Bay. So that's the two guys on Tampa Bay side. St. Louis, I got St. Louis to win this game because they've been playing pretty good hockey. I think it just comes down to the goaltending, and Bennington and Hofer have both been good. I'm not sure who's going to start tonight, but keep an eye on that. I got Jordan Kyrou at 185. That's the player that they want to shoot, right? He's their superstar player. That's the guy that they want scoring goals. And the truth is Robert Thomas is right now having the best career, best statistical stretch of his career. And the big thing, I was reading a thing, I think it was on The Athletic. He's shooting the puck. I mean, this is something that he's very seldomly done. Has like an inside the NHL kind of reputation as being one of the best passers in the NHL. That's still a huge part of his game. But this year, I was reading that he changed his stick and changed his curve, and they're asking him to shoot the puck more, and he's been doing it. And right now he's at plus 320. He's been scoring goals over the last couple of weeks. I think he continues it tonight, and you got to love plus 320.
Yeah, that's actually fantastic. I thought maybe books would be sleeping on the point prop for them. They were like a little bit, but they've caught on. It's amazing how some players they'll catch on. Like, why are they sleeping on Mason McTavish, who's just been as good? But Robert Thomas, I suppose, because Robert Thomas a couple years ago, it was a really good line with him and Kyrou and Buchnevich, and he was off to a good stretch. But you're spot on with the shots. Like, he's got 7 shots over his last 2 games, and he's got 6 goals, and 5 of them. He had a 5-game goal streak, right, which was just snapped in his last game, but he picked up 4 assists. So maybe that's why, because he's actually been on a pretty big heater at the moment. He's minus 105 for an assist. I think he hits the score sheet. He may get 2. Maybe he scores. Maybe he picks up an assist there. He's just playing too good to ignore at the moment. And all the ice time, my goodness, like 17, 20, 19, 19, 22. Like, this is a guy that's getting, I would say that's probably flirting with career high numbers for him. Yeah, currently 20-10, which is a career high. Over a minute more than he played last year, and over 2 minutes more than he played in 2021 when he broke out with 20 goals and 77 points in 72 games. So definitely like Thomas. I mean, it's a little bit steep for the point at minus 160-ish, but I think he gets one. Minus 105 for the assist. Braden Shen at over 1.5 shots is a little juice, but he's minus 130 for a point. I think both of those things happen. And then Hagel at minus 140 for a point as well. I think this is going to be a fun game. I think we'll see some goals. What's the current line here? 6.5 still at minus 110. I thought there was a 6 last night juice, but anyways, 6.5 across the board, minus 110. I think we'll have some fun in that. I'll call a goal. I say Kyrou. I'll go Kyrou, and I always go point. Let's go Stammer tonight. Let's go Stammer. Kyrou and Stammer. Fun same game parlay with all those guys picking up points. Yep. Hopefully Kucherov plays so we can get to that 6.5. John's in the house. Showtime. Eric Young. Super Eric. Let's go.
Also old school. I don't know Super Eric, but I've heard of him.
You've heard of him. Welcome in, John. Smash the like button. Okay, I think one more. That's it. Jersey and Jets.
Yep.
I think that's it. All right, Jersey and Jets. I'm picking on the Devils. They're just not the same team without Hischier or Jack Hughes down the middle of the ice. They got worked over by Washington. I think it was the last time we saw them play, or they came back from a little bit of a road trip. Get the Avs at like plus 155 the other night to win on the puck line against New Jersey. I don't know. Do we have Hughes is still out? Do we have word on Nico Hischier still out too? So both of these guys are still out. When you look at some of the 5-5 numbers, both teams have been very stingy. The Devils, we know that they're stingy, but the Jets are playing a good brand of hockey at 5-5 at the moment too. Your guy, Kyle Connor, you weren't here. I told the crew Kyle Connor was going to score for you, and he had a hat trick. He scored a hat trick for you. I don't know if anybody tailed. Probably should have. This is a Kyle Connor show. He's red hot. Remember the start that he had last year? Complete opposite. This guy's filling the net, man. How could you go away from him?
Yeah, I'm definitely not going away from him. Anytime he plays, I'm betting on him to score. I just look at I love Kyle Connor. I love watching him play. He's one of those players where, I'm trying to think of guys. Him, McDavid, Braden Point. Um, there's just something about the energy that you feel when the puck is on their stick, like something's going to happen. And that's the kind of player that he is. I do have Winnipeg to win just because down the middle of the ice, the Devils are so beat up. On the New Jersey side, I'm going Jesper Bratt and Tyler Toffoli. Jesper Bratt is having a really, really good season.
He is.
I wrote about him during his rookie season when we were working for the Athletic and how good of a player he was. People made fun of me. Well, who's laughing now? Jesper Bratt's a very, very good player. And a very important player for the New Jersey Devils. And Winnipeg, of course, Kyle Connor. And I'm going Perfetti at plus 340, playing some important minutes, playing the top power play. Good player, not as well known of a player yet. And you can tell by the plus 340. But I think if someone else is going to score, it could be him tonight.
Yeah, I like the call. I got Alex Iafallo here for a point at minus 105, just kind of linked to those
6
studs,
assists,
right?
6 assists last week.
Yeah. Well, Connor scoring all the goals. It's a good trio. Connor, Scheifele, and Gabriel Velarde is practicing and close to returning, but he's not going to get that spot back. I mean, I can't give it to him. But maybe over time, maybe he gets it back. But Alex Iafallo is just, I mean, he's a good player as well.
He's been a good player for almost a decade.
Yeah. Just buried in LA. People not watching him on the West Coast. But a good brand of 5-on-5 hockey, and at the moment playing with two studs. Maybe the two best studs. I know he's played with Kopitar and Kempe for maybe moments, but he's locked in with these guys and he's playing really good. Timo Meier, I noticed, is shooting more. It's like the Timo Meier of San Jose now that Jack Hughes isn't on his line. Not saying that Jack Hughes is a puck hog, but he demands the puck on his stick and he has it on his stick quite a bit. And Timo Meier is shooting like he did when he was with the Sharks. He's got goals in back-to-back games. His last few games, 5-3, 5-7, 3-1, and 5, the shots for Timo Meier. So I know the Jets have been pretty stingy, but that's one guy that I would go to at minus 105 over 3.5 shots. And if I'm picking a Devils goal scorer, it's him. I also like Dawson Mercer for shots as well, because just an opportunity. What we've seen, because the top two centers are out, like Dawson Mercer is living in the 17, couple games with 15 minutes, 13, then boom, all these injuries happen, 21 minutes, 19, 20, 18. He's got... he only has 2 goals, 2 points in the season, but they've come in the last 3 games. And the shots, like he's minus 134. This may be one of the better plays tonight on the board, to be honest with you. Dawson Mercer, I mean, Bet365 is minus 175. So it really only seems like a good play at Unibet or Bet Rivers for 2 shots. So the last couple games, 5-2, 4-4, and 2. So he's done this in 5 straight. The added ice time, the boost, the extra minutes, playing with some good players too. I agree with you, Connor. Score. I follow point. Jets money line minus 128. Timo 4 shots and Dawson Mercer. I mean, Mercer for a point too, a plus 114. That's not bad, man. It's not bad. This guy's given a real opportunities to get some good players around him. Mark Scheifele, 3 points. That must pay pretty good. 3 points in 60. That's probably a pretty good payout. Follow's got to get a point if that happens. Okay, I'll start with sides and we'll throw to you for goals and we'll get out of here. Okay, so not breaking any news. I like the Florida Panthers tonight. I like the Florida Panthers on the puck line. It's already put in for me. I put them 2 units to win in 60, unit and a half to win on the puck line. Got plus money. I'm seeing minus 110 there. For Florida. I got Dallas in 60. I got the Penguins in 60. I got the Winnipeg Jets on home ice. And that's really it. I mean, I think the Bruins beat the Sabres. I think the Golden Knights beat Washington. I like the over between Tampa Bay and St. Louis. And my dog would be the Ducks at plus 155. I think your dog is Montreal on home ice at plus 130. But what I have in the tracker is the Florida game in 60, Florida in 60, puck line, Penguins in 60, Stars in 60, the over between Tampa and St. Louis. And then I got the Ducks as a dog in there as well. And then the Jets. Goal scorers. Take it away.
All right. Lindholm, Mangiapane, Caulfield, Newhook, Pasternak, Marchand, Thompson, Paterka, Eichel, Stone, Ovi, Strome, Gensel, Malkin, Laine, Marashenko, Bratt, Toffoli, Connor, Perfetti, Keller, Krause, Robertson, Wyatt Johnson, Terry, Vetrano, Forsberg, Evangelista, Kucherov, Paul, Kyrou, Thomas, Reinhart, Kachuk, Hurdle, Granlund. The 8-way Maniac parlay goes as follows. Keep an eye on Kucherov. If Kucherov doesn't play, I would sub in Pasternak here.
Okay.
Matthew
I'm going to
Tkachuk.
write this one down.
Matthew Tkachuk, Kucherov, Forsberg, Robertson, Kyle Connor, Patrick Laine, Jack Eichel, and Cole Caulfield. It's happening. It's so happening.
Cole Caulfield. All right, I like it. In the article, I wrote down these goal scorers, not as much as EY, but I got Carter Verhaeghe, Sam Reinhart, Philip Forsberg, Kyle Connor, David Pasternak, Jake Gensel, Jonathan Marchessault, Mason McTavish, Matt Duchene, Braden Point, Jordan Kyrou, Nazem Kadri, and Sean Monahan. If I was just to pick 5, I think we'll see some goals for Florida. So I'm going for Verhaeghe and Reinhart. I think both of those guys score. I like Forsberg. I like Kyle Connor. And I like David Pasternak. But I'm definitely in on that Ducks game being – the Ducks and the Blues game being a fun fantasy hockey environment with some goals. Like Mason McTavish or Terry. And you know, maybe Matt Duchene for Dallas in the Arizona game. I don't think that one will be as high scoring, but I like, you know, just quality chances. The teams that are giving up quality chances, like the Sharks, the Preds, the Ducks, Arizona, giving up some quality chances, and the Blue Jackets as well. Sorry, Troy, but like Jake Gensel is definitely on my radar here tonight. And then to get out of here, I'll try to just limit to like maybe 5 here, but I might like Matthew Tkachuk for a 2-point night. Matthew Tkachuk for a 2-point night. Verhaeghe for a point. Barkov for an assist. I like some of those secondary pieces as well, like Evan Rodriguez. And then Matt Duchene for a point. Mason McTavish for a point and for 3 shots. Philip Forsberg's probably my favorite shot prop of the night, for him to have 4 shots tonight against the Ducks. I like Brian Rust actually for Pittsburgh at 2.5. Everybody else is around 3.5 or juiced. I think Pittsburgh puts a ton of pucks towards the goal. Maybe a Ricard Raquel sneaky goal tonight. Can somebody put like 0.5 units on Ricard Raquel? I'll do it. I'll be the psycho losing.
I'll do it.
Ricard Raquel. I'll do it. Ricard Raquel. Marchand shots, Pasternak shots. Staying away from the shooters in Calgary and Montreal. If you wanted something from that game, I would probably go Matheson. He just plays so much. And then that's it. I think we're good. I think we hit up on a lot of things tonight. But the 3 bets are the 3 free bets in the article. I have a bunch of bonus plays in there. Some fun same game parlays is Tkachuk, the 2 points, Duchene for a point, Mason McTavish for a point. But got some other pieces in there as well. All right, dude, it's been fun. Of course, we went a full hour. Full hour, 9 games. We'll be back on Thursday. Let's see some trades in the Dangle Bet Celly League. I want to see some action. Come on, let's make some moves. Let's make some trades. It's been a fun start so far to the season. 14 teams, man. It's tough. It's really tough. And there's no good goalies on the waiver wire. That's it. You don't have I'm going through moments too. I got a lot of Jonas Korpisalo and Ilya Samsonov on my squads. Those are very good. Not good at all. Korpisalo, I think, is turning around a little bit. I've seen better games from him. But I'm pretty worried about what's going on with Samsonov and your Maple Leafs, man. These guys can't keep the puck out of their net at the moment. But we'll be back on Thursday. Tuesday we'll return next week. And then I know it's American Thanksgiving for Thursday. So I may do a solo show for the American crew out there. I'm not even sure if there's games on the slate. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll do a Wednesday episode or maybe a Friday. But we'll have 2 and we'll figure it out. And it may just be me because we want to give EY a chance to celebrate as well.
I won't be celebrating Thanksgiving. I'll be in the United Kingdom.
Not even. Are you going to have a turkey over there?
Probably not.
Nah. What's the point? Dustin, I just dropped Samsonov for Schmid. I mean, that's not I like the call, but it's not helping you out either. And I know because I got Schmid on one of my teams. It's not working either. But from a dynasty standpoint, Maybe it does make a little bit of sense. No games on Thanksgiving. That's what I thought. Maybe there'd be no games. It's this 3 days, 3 games of football, but a loaded Black Friday slate. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a Friday show. I'll just ride solo. Maybe I'll try to get a guest and we can talk about the Black Friday slate. All right. EY, appreciate you, man.
All right, buddy.
Good luck with that 8 leg. I think you're going to get it tonight. Talk to you guys soon. Have a good one. Peace.